Over to you, Dr. Aisha.
Okay, thank you. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm Dr. Aisha Hanif, and I'm going to talk about today on short stature. We are discussing today from a book which we called as FOP Clinical Cases. This is the book, This is the clinical cases for MRCPCH Foundation of Practice book. This is the main book, okay? This book is published by RCPCH and it contains total 50 cases. And these all cases are very, very important. And this book is basically, contain 50 questions to get the idea. So that students can get the idea about FOP exam, how the questions will come in the exam. So today we are discussing one question or one case from this book, which is case number 41. Okay. So this is the case number 41. So you can see the length of the scenarios which you will face in your exam. So this is the one case which we are discussing today. So Matthew is a 13-year-old boy who is referred to the general pediatric outpatient department by his GP as he is the smallest in his school year. Okay, so the main complaint is that he is the smallest in his class. Okay, he has not been selected for the school rugby team this year as he's too small. So his main complaint was the child was not growing well according to her class student mates. Okay. Uh, Other complaints were mother told that his mother reports that he eats well. He has had one episode of nocturnal enuresis. He opened his bowel 2 times per day and complains of occasional abdominal pain. He opened his bowel 2 times means that he is not constipation. Okay, just occasional abdominal pain. So occasional abdominal pain would not be significant over here if the child is not having other complaint and he is not proper and he is opening his bowel daily, so it would not be concerning for us. Okay, he has been crying more frequently than usual and complains of joint pains. Okay, so the mother was worried about joint pains. Now they give birth history. Birth history wise, he was 4 kg born at term. So he was a full term baby. This is very important. Born full term, weight 4 kg, and fell to the 9th centile for weight at 6 months. Initially, he went to the 9th centile. The centiles were dropped. Okay. I will give you the concept about these centiles. Okay. But return to the 25th to 50th centile by 4 years of age. So see how the complex questions are in your exam. So if you would not have a thorough idea about the theory, you will not be able to, pick up the correct thing from this big scenarios and you will land into the problems. Okay. So because this is the clinical oriented paper. So see, this is the chart, first see this chart. Before this chart, I just summarize the history point in this slide, which we just discussed. So whenever, definitely in pediatrics, age is very important if the child come with any complaint. So this is a 13-year-old boy, keep in the mind. Complaint was the smallest in his school. The most significant or the positive history was just he was crying more frequently with joint pains. Other than that, he had no such concern. He had one episode of nocturnal enuresis, but no other concerns regarding urination, no burning, no maturation, no polyuria, no polyphagia. So there was no other concern. So occasional or one episode of nocturnal enuresis will not be significant in this case. Okay, is sometimes distractors will also be given in your question. You have to think about whether this is irrelevant to my case or whether they are important or not. So these are just the distractors one. Why one episode they mention? Just to distract you. Okay. If you see there is no other concern, it means that it is not significant. Eats well, open bowl, I have discussed. Now I'm going to discuss about the last point, which is written in the slide. Weight, now the current weight at the age of 4 years, at 25th to, okay, 25th to 50th centile. So just take the concept from this growth charts, okay? These growth charts are a piece of paper. It's look like a piece of paper, but it has a very much important. It has a very much importance, especially if you are encountering any child with short stature. It is an important tool basically to assess the child. So everybody are not familiar with these growth charts. So that's why I just put a one slide to give you idea about the growth charts. So what the growth charts are, first of all, see the age. This growth chart is from CBC. It is for boys. It is for 2 to 20 years children. Okay. It has two axes, x-axis, y-axis. Audience, if you have any questions, you can stop me. You can ask it anytime. Okay. It is a basically interactive session is there. So you can stop me if you have any question in your mind during the session or at any time. So see, this is the growth chart. We have an x-axis. You can see my arrow. This is the arrow. This is the x-axis. Here the age is written over here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is your the vertical axis. The y-axis is having weight is written. It is written kgs, in kgs, and in pounds as well. Okay. These are the lines. These are the different lines. Please mute yourself. If you don't want to, talk, kindly mute yourself. Thank you. Yourself, Dr. Javerian, please. Okay. So this is basically what these are the different lines in the growth charts which you can see. You can see it is 5th centile, 10th, 25th, 50th. So basically what these line tells you, you just think these line like a road map for the car. So your child should fall in between these lines, okay? Should fall in between this line. This is the road map for your child. If your child going outward either from the lower side or from the upward side, that means the child is going into some problem and you have to look for that. Here you can see that our child, how you will plot. Okay, so you know that our child was at the age of 4 years. So just we see 4 year, we go upward from the 4 year, and they told us the weight was lying between 25th to 50th centile. So this is the 50th, this is the bold line was the 50th line, and below is the 25th. So the child was lying in between. So I just mentioned you, if your child is in this road, if it's lying in this complete road, okay, can you see this? This is the full road. Okay, I'm making the zigzag line in this pathway. So if your child is over here in between here, that means your child is okay. Okay. So is it clear how you plot the growth chart? Simply what you will do, you take the 4 years, you go upwards, and this is the 50th, and below is the 25th line, and you just mark the, just point or a circle over here, or you can make a small cross as well in between it. And then you will follow every year or every 6 monthly to see the overall growth pattern of the child. If your child is following the centile, for example, if he is between 25th to 50th, and if he's following his centile, that means your child is growing properly. Child is growing properly. Because everything is clear regarding this growth chart. Any questions? Any questions regarding growth chart? Is it clear? Should I move forward? So by history, we just came to know that if the child is between 95th to 50th, this is the whole road map. That means the child was normal at the age of 4 years. So this history, I think, clear to everyone. Okay. Now we will going to the examination wise. What were the examination? So see the what was the examination? On examination, he looks well. That means the child is well. He has few spots of acne on his back. I will tell you the importance of every sentence. Okay. Okay. His height is on the 90th centile. Okay. His height is on the 90th centile currently. Okay. That when you take the height of the child, it's on 90th centile and his weight is on 50th centile. Okay. Weight is on 50th. I will tell you how you will going to plot it on the chart. Systemic examination is normal. Okay, now see the what other examination they provide you. His testes are 6 mL in volume with no penile enlargement. He has adult type pubic hair, which were confined to the pubis, and adult type axillary hairs. Okay. So they see, now the question will come in the mind, why they give you such a detailed pubertal examination in this case. So later on, I will tell you why they provide in such a detail about the pubertal examination. So just now we see the examination wise looks well. So now what they give the absolute current height and weight status. So we just simply plot on the centile chart. I have plotted it for you. We'll see these are the again 2 to 20 years for boys. This is a CDC charts. Below is for the weight and above is the height. Okay, this is for height and this is for weight. So now how can you plot it? It was 13-year child, Matthew. So just simply we go upward from the 13 years and he told us weight is on the 50th centile. So we just mark the point on the 50th centile line. 50th centile line. So this is the Matthew's weight currently. Now we go more upward, move up, and we mark the point, and he told us that he was on the 9th centile. That means around 10th centile. Okay. So he is dying in his road, even though he is the shortest in his class, but still he is in this pathway or in this road for his growth. Okay. So this examination part is clear. We can see, okay, height is on the 9th centile, weight is on the 50th centile. Now we will discuss about pubertal status. This is very, sometimes very confusing, very difficult to remember. Even though we came across many times, we always open the tenor staging. We are unable to memorize it. So I'm going to tell you the simplest way, the easiest way to memorize it. Dr. Iram is asking me, can you please tell iska weight according to chart kitna banta hai? Yes, we can tell exactly. See, just we go, see, I'm going next slide. Just a second. See, dekho. Now, how can we see that this is the weight now? Now I'll go to the y-axis. I just simply, at the age of 13, I'll go up. At this line, at the 50th, I'll go towards the left side. And I can see the weight is around 32 kg. So he is 13th year old and his weight is around 32 kg. Just go left to the y-axis and follow it with the y-axis. So you can definitely tell. So in either way, you sometimes they can tell you the weight as well, that the weight is 32 kg, but more advanced and a more good way, they're telling you the centiles as well. So you should have idea about that. So normal, most of 50th centile means that in a population, 50% of the children will be having the weight around this. Your child is having the weight like 32. So in that population, 50% of the children of this age, like 13 years, having the weight of around 32. So they will tell you about the comparison with the population. This centile is basically comparing your child with population. Okay. So here you get about the comparison with you can see over here the height. The height you can see it's around 9%. That means that in a population, 10%, 10%. For example, if 100 per children, 10 children having the height of around your child. So your child is on the 90th centile, means compared with the population, 9% of the population of this age having this height, but still it is not abnormal. It will not be considered abnormal. I will tell you in later slides when you will call it abnormal. Okay. I will tell you when you will label as short stature. This is another question. So I think simply we can predict the height as well. So we just go the 13 years up, 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 and then we go to the left side toward, I know this is a 90th centile point. So it's around 141 or 142 centimeters height of this child. Okay. Any more questions you have? Okay, is it clear? In kgs, yes. I've just told you in kgs as well. 45 kg approx, no. See what I did, 45 kg. See, this line is for kgs. Yes, yes. This is for pounds, this line. So this child, yes, you are right. I'm sorry, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I just checked the stature number. Sorry. This kg, this line, you were right. This is 45. If you go backward like this, so yes, this is the 35, this is the 40, 45 around, yes. You can see over here, okay, kgs, the whole kgs are written over here, and this portion is for centimeters or inches. So please correct it. You will go over here to check the number. Okay, this is for weight. This y-axis on the right side is for the weight. So you can see this is for 45 kg. Okay. Yes, it is around 45 kg. Yes, it's clear to everyone. Okay. So what we were discussing now, we have plotted the child. We have taken the absolute status. We have compared the child with the population. Yes, mother's concern is right, because only the 10% population having this weight. Yes, mother concern could be right. We're going to evaluate it later. Okay. So what we were discussing now, pubertal staging is very important. So for pubertal staging, this seems to be, very difficult, but I'm going to make it very simple so that you can, keep this thing in your mind. So always remember, I have put a one chart. First, we saw that chart, and then we come back to pictures as well. So always remember the tenor staging. 1 is pre-pubertal and 5 is for adults. So you have to memorize 2, 3, or 4 stage. So 1 stage is the pre-pubertal for both, for boys and girls, and 5 is adult for both boys and girls. So we have to memorize 2 from each. So if we see the 2 tenor staging, we see for pubic hairs in tenor staging 2, it would be straight. Okay, the pubic hairs would be straight. Okay, pubic hairs would be straight. And the breast bud formation would occur in case of females. In case of females, what would occur? Breast bud will. How breast bud will, you can appreciate? You just simply press the breast area with your index finger and thumb. And if you feel a resistance in between it, that means breast bud formation is there. If there is no resistance between your finger, index finger and the thumb, that means this is the fatty tissue, this is the lipomestia, and the child does not enter into the puberty.
Okay, mommy.
So
1 minute
okay, so the second tenor staging, pubic hair always remember straight in both girls and boys. In girls, the breast bud formation occurs, and in boys, I want to tell you over here, In boys,
चला दे
the first
हाँ
sign
जा
is kindly mute,
दिन चलाया तो स्टार्ट
Dr. Sidra, kindly mute. Okay. Okay. So what we were discussing, in girls, the breast bud formation will be in tenor staging 2, and in boys, the testicular volume started to increase. Okay, started to increase. So if you have a child with the 4 ml testicular volume, that means the child has entered into the puberty stage 2. Okay, so for girls and boys, pubic hairs would be straight. For a girl's, breast bud formation would be there. And for boys, the increase in testicular volume to the 4 ml. In third stage, what you will going to find out, the hairs would be more curly, more coarser and curly. Just remember curly hairs, curly and coarser hair. And third stage is what? The breast bud with one mount. Breast bud with one mount, okay? And in boys, what would happen in the third stage? The penile length will increase. The penile length would increase, okay? In fourth stage, what happened? Curly hairs honge, and these hairs cover the whole mons, pubic mons, but they will not going to the inner side of the thigh. They will not going to the inner side of the thigh. And in adults, the inner side of the thigh will also involve with hairs. Okay, so curly, coarser hair spreads more, but they will not on the inner side of the thigh. And what happened? Breast with 2 mounts occur in 4 stage. So this 4 stage is very important, and 2 stage. In 2 stage, birth come, and 4 stage, 2 mounts come, and along with that, periods also starting. While in case of male, you simply remember that the pubis will be widened more. The enlargement, the length increase in third stage, and in fourth stage, it will become more widened. Okay. So we're just going to memorize these things by seeing the pictures as well, so that it would be more clear. Okay. So as we are dealing with our case, Matthew, which is a 13-year-old child. So we first see the male child. We can see the both antenna staging, genitalia, and pubic hairs. So what I told you is the pubic, the one is pre-adolescent or 2 is for adult. Okay. So 2 stage, you see sparse, very sparse and long and straight hairs. Okay. And in genitalia, you just remember growth of the testes, growth of the testes. Just remember growth of the testes. In third stage, what I told you, darker and coarser and curled. So dark, curly hairs. So just memorize curly hairs, and it will more, it's spreaded more, okay? And the growth of the penis and further growth of the testes and scrotum. So learn the length is increased over here, okay? And in 4, the width of the penis will also increase. So here the width increase, in 3 the length increase, and the hairs will cover all the mons area, but it will not going to involve the inner side of the thigh. In adult, definitely the inner side is involved, and you have adult like genitalia. So this is a very simple. For hairs, straight word remember, curly word remember, inner thigh is involved or not. That's it. For genitalia, just remember that first the testicular volume increase, then the length increase of the penis increase, and fourth is that they will become more widened. Is it clear to everyone? Anyone has any questions regarding tenor staging? I'm trying to make it more simple. Any questions? I'm waiting. If anyone want to ask, I'm waiting. If no questions, then I will discuss the tenor staging in females. Okay. So now I'm going to the tenor staging in girls. Okay, we have a question. So just check the question first. Repeat stage 4. Okay, doctor. So repeat stage 4 for boys. Abhi we are discussing boys, okay? Because our case is related to the Matthew. That's why I'll first discuss male, and then I'll tell you about the girls as well. Okay. Okay. So what is the fourth stage? See the fourth stage. For pubic hairs, what I told you, for pubic hairs, the inner thigh, in inner thigh, there will be no hairs. If inner thigh will involve, this is 5. If inner thigh will not having any hairs, this is stage 4. There will be the darker hairs, curly hairs, that would be all same, but you should see the thigh area, okay, inner side of the thigh. And for the genitalia, you will see in third stage, the length of the penis will increase, while in stage 4, the penis width will increase. Width of the penis would increase more in case of stage 4. Okay, is it clear? Okay, now I'll move to the next slide. Okay, no chats. Okay. So now, now I'm going to discuss a simple form of penis staging in girls as well. So for hairs, the same. You should not, there is no need to, separate or no. It's just the same. It's just a recall. So you have a very straight, sparse, long hairs. Then you have a curly hair. You should remember stage 3 with curly hairs. Stage 4 involves the whole area, but not thighs, and fifth one is involving the thigh as well. Okay, now I'm going to discuss about the in breast. Okay, for females, I just told you that the one is pre-adolescent and fifth is the adult like female. So what stage 2 is very important. You will see the if there is a breast papilla, is breast bud is there or not, and I tell you how you're going to feel it. You just simply press this area with your index finger and thumb. If you feel resistance over there, that means there is a breast bud formation is there. Okay, and what is the third stage? You have one mount. You can see there is a more areola is more going to be pronouncing over here, enlargement of breast and areola, but with no separation counters. So here, this is a separate counter and this is the separate. So two separate counters, if you can feel, that means you have entered into the fourth stage. And if you have entered into the fourth stage, now you are more towards the menarche. Okay. So with this knowledge in your mind, now again see the examination point so that you can get the idea about the child's status. Testicular volume is 6 ml. That means the child has entered into the pubertal phase. His puberty has started. Okay. The first stage was increase in testicular volume. So stage 1 is, stage 2 is there. No penile enlargement means that his genitalia जो है वो इस वक्त stage 2 पे है, because penile enlargement was stage 3, penile widening was stage 4. So if no penile changes are there, so you are in the genitalia wise, you are in G2 phase. Pubic hair just confined to the pubis. So they just say they are they just didn't mention in detail, but in scenario they told us that the pubic hairs and axillary hair both are at the stage of 2, means very sparse hairs and straight hairs, sparse and straight hairs which are confined to the pubis area. So after having Danner staging, then you can be able to understand the question. You see the FOP question, they are not the simpler question. They, making history as they are giving history as well. They are giving you about, they are checking you about concepts about the centile growth chart as well. They are checking your concept regarding the Danner staging, examination, puberty as well. See how the complex questions are there. That's why I selected this, chapter to make you give a clear idea about their questions. Okay. Any questions, doctor? If you have any questions, you can please ask. Then I'll move forward. Okay. So we have discussed the growth chart, everything. We have discussed the Danner staging as well. Okay, now we comes to the growth failure. Okay, so what happens whenever we encounter a growth failure, especially in our clinic, okay, in pediatric clinic? They are not talking about the endocrine clinic. They are talking about our us pediatric specialist department. They refer this child by GP. So it's a common condition. You see, 2.5% overall. It's a very common condition you will encounter. But you can see that 80%, the short stature is physiological, and only 10% is having a significant or true pathology is there. And the other 10% is in between it. Okay, the other 10% is in between it. Volume is distracting. Okay, doctor. You means high volume, doctor. Is it okay now? Is it okay, doctor? My volume is high or low? Just mention. Okay. So what I'm telling you is that the short stature, is having
Dr. Aisha, your volume is perfectly fine. There's absolutely no issue. मुझे नहीं
okay.
पता ये क्यों ये comment कर रहे हैं.
Okay, okay, no problem. Thank you so much, Dr. Vaji. So, you see, the most important slide, this is the most important, and why your case come in the exam. This case is basically, they're checking your ideas about whether, do you know that 80% are physiological and only the 10% are pathological. It means that you should have ideas, complete idea about pathological short stature, so that you cannot miss that 10% on one hand, and you should have ideas about physiological as well, so that you will not order so many investigations or unnecessary investigations of your child that can burdenize the parents as well and the system as well, because in that UK NHS is affording all test and everything. So they just want to check your concept regarding about physiological and pathological growth failure. So keeping in mind the 80% is physiological. So now the question come, I want to identify those child who is having real-time pathology, so that I cannot miss that child, and I can give those child proper hormonal therapies so that they can be benefited. The purpose of this, I don't want to miss 10% as well, and I don't want to unnecessarily investigate our children as well. Okay, so I think this division is clear. So next slide is, see, this is the basically the causes of the short stature, which I try to make them very simple, so that we can able to memorize it. See, first of all, what I categorize it, short stature either into the physiological short stature, and the other one is pathological. And what I kept in physiological short stature, familial short stature, and the constitutional growth failure of puberty and growth. Okay, constitutional delay of puberty and growth. So these two are the physiological one, and these two are basically comprising 80% of our population. So when we go to the pathological one, so pathological, we have divided into primary and secondary. Primary means that the short stature is due to either a problem of the growth plate, like we have different type of skeletal dysplasias, like achondrodysplasia, hypochondrodysplasias, different type of skeletal dysplasias in which the problem of the growth plate is there. That's why the child is unable to grow. Or we have a genetic problems, like for example, Turner syndrome, in which there is a problem related to the genes. Because of that, the child is not growing. Okay. Otherwise, they don't have any other problem because of either genetic problems or due to the skeletal problems. Secondary causes are divided into two main categories. Just remember two main categories, and I'm going to tell you how you will going to differentiate between them. First is the nutritional one. Nutritional one could be either due to directly malnutrition, one, or it could be due to any infections that causes stress, that causes increased metabolic rate of the body. It could be due to the malabsorptions. It could be due to the like problems like malabsorption is there, infections is there, or nutrition problem. All can cause weight would be more affected. So in this nutritional cause, how you will going to differentiate between nutritional causes versus endocrine, you will plot in the chart. I'm going to teach you how you will going to plot in the chart and differentiate that this is more problem related to the nutrition is there. So weight would be more affected in this child. While in case of endocrine, you will get your child will be either normal weight or overweight. Overweight, normal weight. That child will not be underweight. So the endocrine cause could be due to hormones like hypothyroidism, or due to the growth hormone, or due to other like pseudo hypoparathyroidism, Cushing syndrome. So we have a different types of hormonal deficiency which can cause growth failure, but all those children will have either a normal weight or overweight. Okay, in that way you can differentiate it. So first, so we just discussed very simple short stature if come 80% physiological, 10% pathological, either a skeletal primary problem, the bone is not growing, skeletal problems, or genetic potential, because of genetic potential, they are not growing in case of Turner syndrome and other syndrome. Secondary causes broadly divided into nutrition related, either problem related to the intake or related to the absorption related, or like that, or due to infections. Or endocrine problem could be due to hormonals. Okay, so this is the broad causes. Now what you see, now how I'm going to approach this word. I write approach. So this is the same chart which is in your mind. So I just mentioned the approach is here. First, 8 minutes. First, let me check the question so that everybody on the same page or not. No cutting. Okay, Dr. Bhagwan. Thank you. Okay. Any questions, doctor? If you have any questions, you can write as well. You can ask as well, but be with us, okay? Okay, so now I just write the approach as well in the side. See what I write? First, I'm going to confirm whether this is really a too short stature to investigate it or not. Because I know that 80% are physiological. I need to confirm. First step is whether really it's a too short stature first. Okay, I have confirmed it. Yes, this is the too short stature. Short stature is there too. Then I'm going to differentiate it, whether this is the physiological short stature or this is a normal versus disease, pathological or physiological. Shortest stature, I agree. Her mother concern was right that he is the shortest in her class. And when we plot him on the centile chart, we can see he's on the 9th centile, means 9% of the population. So on the lower side of the population, he was lying. So yes, her concern was right. So we have to differentiate whether this short stature is normal, either due to familial problem or due to the constitutional, or it is really a pathological. So this is your second questions which we will going to answer it, and all will be answered clinically. Third question would be, okay, I have defined it. This is the pathological one. Now I have to define if it is really primary problem, we can see dysplasias, we can see from the eyes, we can take the upper height segment, lower height segments, we take out the height segments, and we can see genetic wise, we can see any syndromic features are there or not. And for secondary, we just simply check the weight of the child to differentiate whether it is a nutritional related pathology or whether it is an endocrine related pathology. So first need to confirm short stature. Then if really is a short stature, it is a normal, physiological or pathological. If pathological, then you have to check for the nutritional versus endocrinology by checking the weight of the child. Any question up to this? Okay, so first question. Now I'm going to encounter the first question. So this is it really a short? So you see, this is the first child, okay? And you can see the height of the child. And if you can plot this child is around 5.5 years. He's in between. Yes. So it's around 5.5 years. and his height, if you go to the right side, 5.5 years mein, the height is around, height yahan pe hai, sorry, it's on the left side. I am sorry. If you go to the left side, you can see the height is around 85 centimeters. Okay, so 85 centimeters at the age of 5.5 years. Normally, 85 centimeter height is around at the age of 2 years. So, and you can see in the growth chart, this is far outside this map, far outside this road. This is your road. Your car should be moving in this region. Your child should be somewhere around in this path. So it's so, far away from this last centile. So yes, this is a pathological one. Yes, this is a real-time pathology. This is a really short child. At this time, I cannot say pathology or physiology, but I say, yes, this is the really short child. I will give, I will investigate this child. I'm going to, take it serious. So this is very short height standard, जो है वो less than -3 standard deviation. It is way behind, okay? Now, next child. What I plotted in the next child is that, again, this child is outside from his roadmap. Yes, this is abnormal, but this is not very, very low, okay? If you take it here, the -2 standard deviation line is not there, only -3. It's -3, it's 10, 25. Here, not the -2. If the child is between -2 to -3, -2 to -3, in growth chart, normally -2 height will not be mentioned over here. So you should take the standard deviation, take out the standard deviations. So, but just to get the general idea, if he is outside this road, but not very low, you at this time, you have both ways. You can follow this child as well, or you can investigate this child. So if you decided to follow this child, you see that day by day, he is getting more far from this pathway. He's going, not going upward. In fact, he is going more low, more down, more away from the last. So that means the child is not growing at all. This is the serious short stature, and this is the short stature, and you need to evaluate it. Now you should take it very, very serious. Before that, you can wait or you can investigate. Both are the correct, because this is outside this roadmap. Okay. Now, what about the third child? Like our child, what we see that this is in the roadmap. Okay, this is in the roadmap, but I see the parents are very concerned. So if the parents are very concerned, then what should I do? I have two ways. I have two things to do. I will see backward tracking, how the growth was in previous year, whether the child is following his centile, or whether the child was on higher centile, or going from higher to lower one. Okay. From yeah. Okay. From so when we backtrack the child, we found that. Just give me a second. Just give me a second, please. Just a second. Okay, sorry for the distractions. Okay, so what I told you, because parents were very concerning now, so I have to, definitely I have to check it. So when I backtrack, I noticed that at the age of around this 6 years, yes, at the age of around 6 years, yeah, 5.5 years, I see he was on 50th centile. Oh, he is going downward day by day. At the age of around 7.5 or 8 years, he is on the 10th centile. He has crosses two lines. From 50th, he should be on 50th. He not only goes to the 25, he goes to the 10th. second, crossing the second, this is serious. That means the child is not growing at all. If he is going down from the up from higher centiles to the lower centile. So these are the three conditions which you take it very serious. The second thing what I do with this child, first I'm going to backtrack. Second thing, I would take the parental height. I will tell you later about this. But for now, I just want to define what is really short stature is, okay? So what I write, pathological short is less than -2 standards. The first case, it is very below, less than -2. If it is between -2 to -3, and if he is going more far away from the path, or he is not growing at all. And third, if he has started going downward, crossing of 2 or more percentile lines, that means yes, the child is not growing well. You see, if you will not pick this child on time, this is the most common acquired cause, acquired hormonal cause. The third case, if the child is growing well and suddenly he started to go down, if you will not catch this problem, either he have a growth problem, growth hormone, or have a other endocrine problem, then you definitely will give what? You will lose the precious time of the child, because hormonal therapies should be given before the epiphyses are closed. If you give the hormonal therapy before that, it would be effective. But if the child enter into the puberty and epiphyses are started to close, then hormonal therapy would not work. That's why it is very important to pick this child and give treatment. Okay. Yes, question. Any questions up till now? Because I think these concepts are really difficult. So if you have any questions, you can ask without any, reluctance. No one? Why my participants are so mute? Either I'm not understandable or... Okay, thank God I got a chat. Ma'am, please repeat the last point. What last point? If you can speak up there so that I get the idea what last point you want me. Lastly, I just repeat these 3 points. The first point was the first case. It was very below. It was less than -2 standard deviation. That was the first case. The second case was the child was in between it, but he is not growing. So the first case was this. Very -2 is this line, but it is not shown in, so it is below -2, it is very short. If it is not very short, if it is between -2 to -3, but the child is going more away from this line, that means he's not growing well. The third point was that the child if you previously look at the child, he was on 50th centile, and suddenly he crosses and he goes more downward, crosses 2 lines, going downward. That means he is not growing at all. No, keep one thing, I want to give you one important thing. Here is a concept of growth velocity also come. So if the child is following his centile, that means the growth velocity is normal. If the child is going down or if the child is going high, that means growth velocity is not static. Either if he is going down, that means the growth velocity has decreased. If it's going up, that means growth velocity has increased. So you can get the idea. If he is following his centile, that means growth velocity is normal. Okay, so I have explained the first question. Okay, now the second question is it pathological? Pathological versus physiological. Okay, so yes, I have defined my child was on the 10th centile. Okay, even though this is not seems to be short stature, but yes, he's on the lower side. Matthew was on the lower side. Now I have to decide at this point whether this child is physiological or pathological. So you need 3 parameters to decide to answer this question. Because of this thing, they give you in detail about the centile of the child as well. They give you about the pubertal status as well. And they didn't tell you about the bone age. But now your question has cleared why they give you in so detail about the pubertal status in short stature. What is the link between with this? Yes, it has a link, because on that three bases, with growth chart assessment, with pubertal assessment, and with the bone age, you will be able to define, yes, this is the physiological. Confidently, you will be able to define, yes, this is the physiological. This child does not need unnecessary investigation. Oh, no, no, it's a pathological. You should have investigate this child and try to give hormones or therapy as soon as possible. Hormonal one, yes, hormonal one, I just told you, if he's crossing two lines, that means he has acquired, maybe there is acquired hypothyroidism, acquired autoimmune thyroiditis has occurred, hypothyroidism has occurred, or maybe he is having any craniopharyngioma, pituitary adenoma. Because of that, the growth hormone has affected, because he was going normally and suddenly he goes down. So that was the point. You need to investigate to give hormone. Okay. Okay. So next thing is that in the first growth chart. So growth chart will tell you not only about the absolute status. You have to see three things in growth chart, and I just discussed the one thing up till now. See, so interpretation of growth chart, what to look in the growth chart, you should have three things. First is the height and the weight percentile absolute status, which was given in your question, and you have plotted it. Okay. Now, what to look? Second is to look parental expectation, because to label it as a physiological, you should compare that child with his family, with his parents. Then you will be able to define, yes, the child is in his parental expectation or in his familial height potential. I'll tell you how the familial effects we can see on the centile charts. And third is that you can, by checking the height and weight age, you can check the nutritional effect, whether it is endocrine problem or it is a nutritionally related problem, by just checking the height and weight age on the centile, on the growth chart. So how you can see the growth charts are very, very important if you especially want to assess the child with short stature. Okay. So absolute status, I have discussed it very well. Now, the second absolute status, I just give you the example. This is the 12-year-old girl. Height is 135 centimeters. The height is given in centimeters, and weight is 28 kg. So you just need to plot it. How you're going to plot it? First of all, on the x-axis, you goes to the 12. You go upward. First, definitely the weight come. Here, weight is 28 kg. So you just on 28, on this is a 25. This is the 25, this is 28. So you just simply make the point on the 28 centimeter. So you can see that the weight of this child, weight of this child is less than third centile. Now you go more upward for the height, more go upward, and you just mark the height of the child 135 centimeters. So this is the 135 line, 135, and at the line of 12 year, you just mark this line. Okay, so below it should meet with 12, and on the vertical axis it should meet with the child's height 135 centimeters. Okay. This is the absolute growth status. So see what your book is written. We are reading our case book as well, so that you should have idea whether I'm explaining you properly. Take accurate measurements of height and weight and refer to the previous measurements. Always check the previous measurement from the child. I have told you the importance of previous measurements as well. Look at the growth velocity over infancy and childhood by reviewing the previous height measurements over a 4 to 6 month period. I just told you how you will see the growth velocity. You will check the previous height, whether the previous height was on the same centile or not, whether the child is growing down or growing up from the previous centile. Okay, previous height. So you have to check the previous height for growth velocity over 4 to 6 months. Minimum growth velocity will be calculated in a 6-month period time. It is very simple. For example, if the child is 130 centimeter at the age of around 10 years, then after 6 months, what would be the height? For example, if it is 135, then you will simply 135 minus 130. See, so the current height minus 6 month back की जो height है, you simply subtract them from that height, and 5 centimeter would be the answer, and this would be the growth velocity of that child. So you have to review the previous height measurements over a 4 to 6 months to calculate the growth velocity. Height which have been continued on the same centile. I just told you, if the child is following his same centile, suggest a normal growth velocity, and growth velocity determines the change in height over time. So it is just the definition of growth velocity. It's the change in height. 5 centimeter was the change over a time, over a 6 month. So it basically tells you, or it determines the change in height over the time. It calculated as the difference in height on 2 different occasions, annualized over a year. Better है कि you should and 1 year की height assessment करें. At the age of 2 year, for example, if it is 85, at the age of 3 year, if it is 90, so you have to 90, you will take 90 at the age of 3 year, subtract 85, which was at the age of 2 year, and there is a difference of 1 year in between 2 to 3, and you get the answer of 5 centimeter. That is the growth velocity. Okay, so this is clear or not? Guys, please speak up. Is it clear or not?
Yes, it's clear, Dr. Aisha.
Thank you so much. Okay. So first thing is that absolute growth status, number one thing. Second, what I told you about in growth chart, we take about the parental expectations as well. What the parents are lying, what the family is lying. If the parents are short, definitely his genes are short. So definitely he would not be long. Okay. So here the father height is mentioned and mother height. How you will going to plot these height on the growth chart? So I'm going to tell you now. So see what I do. What I did is that you have to calculate the mid-parental center. This is all written in the FOB book. See the concepts which are required for the exam. The charts are not in the book. They just simply write all those things. So without, proper guidance, you will not be able to apply on the clinic. You will not be able to understand these concepts. These are very typical concepts. Okay. Okay, so you should thankful to Dr. Farhan that he's arranging, these sessions, see how the FOP exam is not very simple exam. You can see how critical and, how conceptual exam is this. So he's arranging for you people, for Pakistani, this, group, and so, you should take, get benefit if you should take maximum benefit from it. Okay, so what the parental expectation is that, see, father height and mother height, only they have given you father height and mother height. So what you need to do, you just simply calculate the mid-parental centile. So what do you mean by how you will going to calculate the mid-parental centile? You will measure the height of both parents in centimeter, which is already given over here. Then what you will do that for boys and girls, just leave this line. This is mid-parental, simply add both heights together. So you just 164 plus 151. So when you add these two heights, and then you're going to divide it by 2. Then you will going to divide it by 2. So then what you will going to do, a number will come. For example, if you add 164 plus 151 and divide it by 2, you will get some number like 151. For example, it would be around 151. So 151 is basically, so you have to mark an arrow over here at 151. This is 150 and just above 1. So I just write an arrow over here at the age of around 20 years or at the age of around 18 years. Okay, so our books say you should mark this arrow at the age of 18 years, because by the age of 18 years, most of the boys or girls have acquired the height. So you can see the chart becomes straight. The height would be same at the age of 18, at the age of 20. So you will going to mark that point at the age of 18 years. Okay, so this is the centile. This is the basically parent centile, mid-parental centile, combination of both father and mother. So this is 157 mid-parental centile. So from there, what you will going to do, you need to add 7 centimeter for boys. For girls, you need to subtract 7 centimeter. This is the mid-parental line. Sorry, after calculating 164 plus 151 and divided by 2, you get a number. In that number, you need to add 7 centimeter if it is boys, or if it is a girl, you need to subtract 7 centimeters. So simply calculate kar lete hain. Dr. Vaji, can you just calculate 164 plus 151 divided by 2 for me? Anyone? 157. 157.5.
157.5.
In that 157, you need to add plus 7 for the boy. If you are, in your case, Mithu is a boy, okay? So in that case, if you know the parent's height, what you will calculate the average and just add plus 7 in it. So can you tell the answer plus 7? Yes, 164. So this 164, you have to plot at the age of 18 years. So you go to the 18 year, you go up, you see 155, you go to have up like 165 or 164. This is 165 or around 164. So you need to mark that point, okay? You need to, so this is the centile. If, for example, this is the point, in that case, what was the point? For boys, it was at 7 centimeter, but this is the girl. So you need to subtract 7 centimeter. Can you subtract 7 centimeter from that height? Because this is a girl chart. This is a pinky chart now. So this is a girl. So that's why. देखो मैं इसको उर्दू में बता सकती हूँ, नो प्रॉब्लम। इरम, सबसे पहले देखो आपने पेरेंट्स की दोनों हाइट लेके उसे प्लस किया और उसको डिवाइडेड बाय 2 कर दिया, तो आपके पास आंसर 157 आ गया। अब ये चार्ट गर्ल का है, तो इसमें आपको -7 सेंटीमीटर करना पड़ेगा। सो जस्ट प्लीज कैन यू कैलकुलेट 157 -7 सेंटीमीटर फॉर मी? Kindly give the answer. 157 minus 7. It would be around 151, 150 or 151. Yes, it's 150. So see, at the age of 150, he just make this pointer. See, so you mark this centile. This is the 5th centile. So parents are also on the mid-parental centile is also on the lower side. The parents are also very short. Now what you do from this centile, the already marked with pointer, you go upward 6 centimeters or you go downward 6 centimeters further to make the potential, because the children are not always on the same centile. Definitely they will be around somewhere. So how you will calculate around somewhere? To 1 centile above, you have to add plus 6 centimeters, or you have to subtract -6 centimeter and make 2 lines. So this is the road map for that child only according to his family. Okay? Okay. You got it? So you see what I write. She's asking this. You know. So what I did, so plot the mid-parental height. Plot the mid-parental height on the growth chart at the age of 18. This gives you the mid-parental height centile. एक centile आपको मिल गया था, 5th centile. A normally growing child height will be within 2 centile spaces. एक centile ऊपर जाना है, either 1 centile above or 1 centile below of the mid-parental centile से एक centile ऊपर जाओ, एक centile नीचे जाओ। तो अगर आप ये देखो, एक centile उसके ऊपर गया है, ये 5th था, इससे एक ऊपर गया है, उससे एक ही नीचे अराउंड है। तो इट्स रफली कैलकुलेशन करते हैं, 6 सेंटीमीटर अबव जाते हैं 6 सेंटीमीटर, तो ये पूरा उसका रोड मैप उस बच्चे का निकल के आ जाता है। दिस इज द टारगेट, पूरा जो है बच्चे का टारगेट फिमिलियल पोटेंशियल वो उस बच्चे का होता है। तो इफ द चाइल्ड इज इन दिस रोड मैप, that means look wise this child is short, but this is physiological, because according to his familial potential he is lying. Okay, clear? This is clear or not? Yes, Dr. Vaji, is it clear or not? Should I move forward?
Yes, yes, Dr. Akshay, please move.
Please repeat. Okay, doctor, we have recording as well. Okay, you can see my recording as well, but I just want to quickly again repeat it in Urdu so that everyone can understand, because these are the difficult concept. Simply देखो, पेरेंट्स का जो सेंटाइल हमने निकाला था ना, वो कैसे निकाला था वो हमने कैलकुलेट कर लिया। हमने उस सेंटाइल को एट द एज ऑफ 18 ईयर्स पे जाके उसका एक पॉइंट बना दिया कि यार ये इसका ये पॉइंटर है, दिस इज द 5th सेंटाइल, ठीक है। यानी कि पेरेंट्स का मिड पेरेंटल सेंटाइल ये। अब उस सेंटाइल से जो अगर 151 या 150 आ रहा था, तो 156 सेंटीमीटर पर एक पॉइंट मार दो और नीचे आ जाओ और एक 145 पे मार दो, फिर वहां से जो है ना लाइंस ग्रो करके उनको आखिर तक ज्वाइन कर दो। तो ये पूरा का पूरा उसका देखो एक रोड मैप आपने बना दिया है, और उस रोड मैप के अंदर बच्चा जो है वो फॉल कर रहा है। तो जो पोटेंशियल होता है ना, वो एक लाइन नहीं होती, एक रेंज होती है। तो वो रेंज आपका 1 सेंटाइल अबव एंड 1 सेंटाइल बिलो होता है। तो ये पूरा का पूरा एक सेंटाइल अबव जाके आपने ये लाइन रेड वाली अपर वाली बना ली, और एक सेंटाइल बिलो जाके ये लाइन बन गई। अब ये कैसे पता चलेगा? सिंपली जो सेंटाइल आपका पेरेंट्स का उसमें +6 कर लोगे तो अबव की लाइन बन जाएगी, -6 कर लोगे तो बिलो की लाइन बन जाएगी, और ये पूरा का पूरा एक रोड मैप उस बच्चे का बन जाएगा जिसमें वो बच्चा लाई करना चाहिए। ठीक है, I think that would be enough. I should move forward because I think it's getting late. Okay. Okay, so next slide is weight for age and height for age. This is the last which we have to check for the next thing is weight for age and height for age. Okay, weight for age और height for age क्यों इंपॉर्टेंस है, ये थर्ड चीज हम ग्रोथ चार्ट में देखते हैं। और ये चीज हमें पैथोलॉजिकल जो हमारा है कि न्यूट्रिशन की वजह से हो रहा है या एंडोक्राइन की वजह से हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा, ये चीज हमें इससे पता चलती है। तो हमने क्या निकालना होता है कि सबसे पहले हम वेट फॉर हाइट फॉर एज देखते हैं। जो भी बच्चे की हाइट इस वक्त करंट सेंटाइल पर है, व्हेन यू this is the height of that child, if you go backward and meet this line to the 5th, उसको 5th सेंटाइल पे क्रॉस करो, पीछे जाओ और उसको 5th सेंटाइल पे लेके जाओ, 50th सेंटाइल पे। ठीक है, जो भी सेंटाइल लाइन है उसको पीछे जाके 50th पे जाके उस लाइन को लेके जाओ और फिर स्ट्रेट उसको वर्टिकली नीचे लेकर आ जाओ। तो अगर आप देख रहे हो कि इस टाइम पे जब इन्होंने प्लॉट किया है 12 ईयर्स की हाइट है, लेकिन नॉर्मली 50% पॉपुलेशन जो है वो नॉर्मली अगर आप उसको पीछे जाके ट्रैक करो तो 9.5 साल की उम्र में ये हाइट होती है। समझ आए हाइट एज क्या निकली? कि मेजॉरिटी पॉपुलेशन 50% की ये जो हाइट है वो 9.5 साल की उम्र में ये हाइट होती है। तो व्हाट इज द वेट फॉर एज और वेट फॉर हाइट? तो आपको करंट हाइट at which he become 50th centile, 50th centile पे वो क्या हाइट है उसको आप कहते हो हाइट फॉर एज। और 50th centile इसी तरह ये इसका करंट वेट है। आपने इसी पॉइंट से गो बैकवर्ड, ज्वाइन विद द 50th centile line, and then you just simply go down 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 and match with the age. So you can see the age 12 years age पे इसका एक्चुअली वेट जो है इस टाइम 8.5 साल के बच्चे का वजन है। तो अब अगर आप 8.5 साल के बच्चे का वजन है और उसकी हाइट 9.5 साल के बच्चे की, तो आप क्या देख रहे हो कि वेट जो है ना वो ज्यादा अफेक्ट हुआ है एज कंपेयर टू द हाइट। तो इसका हाइट तो अफेक्टेड हुआ ही नहीं है क्योंकि 12 साल की उम्र में ये हाइट होनी नहीं चाहिए, 9.5 साल की हाइट आ रही है, लेकिन वेट भी उससे ज्यादा अफेक्ट हुआ है। तो इसका मतलब इसमें न्यूट्रिशनल कॉम्पोनेंट भी है। ठीक है, यानी कि कहीं ना कहीं न्यूट्रिशनली भी इन्वॉल्वमेंट है, तो आपने उसको भी देखना है। सिर्फ और सिर्फ फिमिलियल प्रॉब्लम पे कहानी नहीं खत्म हो जाएगी कि ठीक है ये तो फिमिलियल चल रहा है, ठीक है। नो नो नो, इफ वेट इज मोर अफेक्टिंग, if weight is more affected, that means it is nutritionally involved as well. ठीक है, so you can read these lines. I'm so sorry about this.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Dr. Vaji, can you just pause for a little? एक मिनट मैं इसको समझूं। हम जो है ना बस लास्ट अपना बाइंड अप करेंगे बिकॉज इट्स गेटिंग लेट। प्यूबर्टल स्टेटस पे मैं बस एक बात करूंगी, प्यूबर्टल स्टेटस पे मैं बात करना चाहूंगी। एक जस्ट सेकंड, सॉरी। प्यूबर्टल स्टेटस क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट था उसको थोड़ा सा डिस्कस करना चाहूंगी। प्यूबर्टल स्टेटस पे अब हमने सिर्फ ये फेमिलियर शॉर्ट स्टेचर, यू कैन रीड इट, इट्स वेरी सिंपल, आई हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस अबाउट इट कि इसमें आपकी प्यूबर्टल डेवलपमेंट भी नॉर्मल होगी, आपकी हाइट भी नॉर्मल चल रही होगी, आप अपना सेंटाइल भी वही वाला फॉलो कर रहे होगे। अगर आप उसको प्रीवियसली ट्रैक करोगे तो उसका सेंटाइल भी वही वाला होगा, उसकी प्यूबर्टी भी नॉर्मल होगी, उसकी बोन एज भी नॉर्मल होगी। तो जब तीनों चीजें नॉर्मल आ रही है, प्यूबर्टी सही आ रही है, बोन एज जो कि तीसरा फैक्टर था, और हाइट जो है वो उसकी फेमिलियल के अंदर आ रही है, जेनेटिक पोटेंशियल के अकॉर्डिंग आ रही है, दैट मीन्स शॉर्ट स्टेचर। तो वही 3 पॉइंट के अकॉर्डिंगली उन्होंने इस फिजियोलॉजिकल शॉर्ट स्टेचर को डिफाइन किया है। ठीक है, अब देखो जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल डिले जो हम कह रहे थे इन प्यूबर्टी, वो क्यों इतना इंपॉर्टेंट है, वो भी एक फिजियोलॉजिकल कॉज है। उसके लिए हमें प्यूबर्टी का बहुत अच्छे से आइडिया होना चाहिए। सो देखो प्यूबर्टी हमने जस्ट अभी रीड की कि इनिशियली टेस्टिकुलर वॉल्यूम इंक्रीज होता है, फिर प्यूबिक हेयर्स आते हैं, फिर ग्रोथ स्पर्ट आता है, फिर पेनाइल इनलार्जमेंट आती है। तो उस बच्चे की पेनाइल इनलार्जमेंट भी नहीं थी, उस बच्चे का ग्रोथ स्पर्ट भी नहीं आया था, वो बच्चा अभी इस स्टेज 2 तक में जो है यहाँ तक लाई कर रहा था। ओके, ही वाज लाइंग अराउंड हियर, उसके प्यूबिक हेयर की डेवलपमेंट वाज स्टार्टेड and its testicular worm started to increase. So why this is important, especially 6 ml was written. The word 6 ml, what is the importance of this? So I've already told you this tenor staging in very simple word: enlargement, penile growth, thickness, and adult growth. What about this? So if the child is having 4 ml testicular volume, that means that अब यहाँ से बच्चे का हाइट पोटेंशियल जो है ना अराउंड 25 सेंटीमीटर है, उसमें अभी पोटेंशियल है कि टोटल 25 सेंटीमीटर बढ़ेगा। यानी कि अगर एक बच्चा आपके पास इस एज पे आ रहा है 4 ml और उसका अभी 135 सेंटीमीटर की हाइट है, आपने कहा ठीक है ये हाइट मुझे छोटी लग रही है, बट जब आपने उसका जाके वॉल्यूम चेक किया टेस्टिस का स्पायरो ऑर्काइडोमीटर से, देखा यार ये तो 4 ml है, दैट मीन्स 130 से अभी उसने 25 सेंटीमीटर बढ़ना है। 130 से 25 का मतलब है 140, 150, 155 नॉर्मल अडल्ट के करीब पहुंच जाएगा, नो नीड टू वरी। इसी तरह अगर ग्रोथ स्पर्ट 10 ml की अगर आपको वॉल्यूम दिया जा रहा है तो इसका मतलब है आगे उसका पोटेंशियल 15 सेंटीमीटर्स का अभी भी बाकी है। तो अगर 130 सेंटीमीटर्स का वो बच्चा और अगर आपके पास 10 ml के वॉल्यूम पे आ रहा है, तब भी आप कहेंगे स्टिल इसका 15 सेंटीमीटर्स और बढ़ सकता है, यानी कि उसका टोटल हाइट अराउंड 145 सेंटीमीटर्स में जाएगी। तो उस बच्चे को उन्होंने आपको 4 to 6 में दिया था, तो इसका मतलब है अभी तो बहुत सारा पोटेंशियल बाकी है यार, अभी तो 6 ml है उसका, तो अभी तो उसको 20 to 22 सेंटीमीटर्स बढ़ना है, तो हमें हार्मोन देने की जरूरत क्या है? तो जस्ट हमने टेस्टिकुलर वॉल्यूम, दैट्स व्हाई दे हैव गिविंग यू इन्फॉर्मेशन, क्यों 6 ml वॉल्यूम की दी थी, जस्ट टू गेट द आइडिया कि किस पे ग्रोथ स्पर्ट होता है। जब 10 ml होता है तो उस वक्त 15 सेंटीमीटर्स का पोटेंशियल बाकी है, जब 4 to 6 ml है तो 20 to 25 का पोटेंशियल पड़ा हुआ है अभी बच्चे के पास। तो दिस इज मीन्स कि इसका कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनली प्यूबर्टी भी डिले आ रही है और वो बच्चा हाइट वाइज भी डिले चल रहा है। ठीक है, सो दैट्स व्हाई प्यूबर्टी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, टेस्टिकुलर वॉल्यूम बाकी प्यूबर्टी के स्पेस पे पहुंच चुकी, दिस इज ऑल वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू प्रिडिक्ट द हाइट। तो मुझे जस्ट वॉल्यूम से प्रिडिक्ट कर लूंगी कि आगे कितना इस बच्चे में फर्दर इंक्रीज करना है। ओके, next question is related to the girls. So just girls again, breast bird formation, pubic hair, now growth spurt occur, then menarche occur. So simply girls में what you need to remember is that at the age of 2 and 4 is very important for breast wise. So if you have a stage 2, like just the papilla elevation is there, breast bird is there, you have 20 centimeter potential to grow. If the female come with 130 centimeters with breast 2 in with 2, that means he will going to be 150 centimeters when she becomes adult. Okay, so growth spurt जो है वो आपका पहले breast bird formation आएगी, then pubic hair, then आपका growth spurt। जब आपकी जो है stage 4 में बच्चा enter हो जाएगा, okay, जब आपका stage 4 में child will going to enter, at that time उसका जो breast की जो वो है वो around 10 centimeters के around इसकी जो है वो ग्रोथ स्पर्ट का स्टेमिना होगा। तो 4 पे आने के बाद यू हैव 10 मोर सेंटीमीटर्स टू ग्रो। इफ कम विद 130 सेंटीमीटर और 4 के ग्रेड 4 की प्यूबर्टी मिल रही है, दैट मींस जस्ट 10 सेंटीमीटर्स आर लेफ्ट। और इफ menarche has started, then you just have only 5 centimeter, 5 to 7 centimeters are left further to grow. Okay, so in that's why it's very important. So in that way, I just simply, if you see the height, parental heights, parental expectations, and with the puberty you can assess later whether it is a physiological or pathological one. Okay, so now the next definition is constitutional delay. So what they told you is that initially you have a deceleration of length or height in first 3 years of life. Then you have normal or near normal height velocity during childhood. So childhood में you are following your centile, इधर उधर नहीं move करेंगे आप, अपने 4 to 7 centimeter per year the child will be following. लेकिन उसका जो spurt वाला जो phase है वो late start होगा, late in adolescence, acceleration late in adolescence and final adult height within mid parental centile पे ही होगी. Bone age could be delayed, but pubertal delay also present. Pubertal delay also present. So you need to ask in history whether parents have a same history about it or not. So you will get the history of parental constitutional delay as well. So you just need to reassure the parents and you need to follow it. Okay. And there is no need for further, hormone therapy is here because this is something which is physiological and the child will grow by the time. So pathological fractures we have already discussed. These are the main important factors. Identifiable genetic syndromes or like achondroplasias or like this, Turner, and nutritional versus endocrine, you will differentiate with the weight for age. So these are the questions which will be in your FOP case. Okay. Anyone can read this question for me, please. Dr. Vaji, you can read it.
On examination, he looks well. He has few spots of acne on his back. His height is on the 9th centile and his weight is on the 50th centile. Systemic examination is normal. His testes are 6 milliliters in volume with no penile enlargement, G2. He has adult type pubic hair confined to the pubis and adult type axillary hair, A2, P2. Which of the following should be done first? Blood glucose measurement, body mass index, blood pressure measurement, calculate mid-parental height centile, or urine analysis.
The discussion के बाद, I think you all are able to understand this scenario very well. This is a very complicated scenario of FOP, and now you can give the answer as well. Please chat में इसका जल्दी से answer लिख दें so that मुझे पता चले कितनी मेहनत करने का कोई फायदा हुआ है. Very good, very good. So, potential is very important. Familial potential, you should know about it. Very good. Okay. So next slide है. This is just a second. Next slide जो है, this is all the description. You can read it. Matthew height disproportionate to his weight. This may not be problem if the mid-parental height is within normal range. Hence, this need to be measured first. With familial short stature, enter puberty at normal time. The familial short stature, there would be enter of puberty at normal time and typically complete growth with the height consistent with that of genetic makeup. His weight is on 50th centile. Our child ka 50th, so he is not overweight. Therefore, BMI is not important. One episode of nocturnal enuresis with no other such concerns of polyuria, polydipsia does not suggest any testing for blood glucose. Urine analysis, that's why will not be the first investigation. Blood pressure is always useful to identify the organic cause of short stature. But first we have to establish whether this is a short compared to his genetic potential or not. पहले ये तो पता करो physiological है, pathological है, फिर pathological में blood pressure को अहमियत देंगे. ठीक है. Now the next question, please read.
What is the most important next investigation from Matthew? Bone age, X-ray, calprotectin, CRP, full blood count, thyroid function tests. What is the next step of management? Reassure and discharge, refer to the endocrinologist, refer to the gastroenterologist, refer to a psychologist or review in 4 months.
कभी भी इरा में गलती ना करना कि जो है वो कभी भी जो है वो RCPCH में डिस्चार्ज नहीं कर देना. हमेशा फॉलो अप पे रखना. अगर किसी का कंसर्न है और तुमने कहा चलो भाई जाओ डिस्चार्ज, नो, यू डिड अ ब्लंडर. ऑलवेज रिव्यू. भले आप रीअश्योर जरूर करो पर रिव्यू आपको करना पड़ेगा इन 4 months. तो इस टाइम आपको कोई अननेसेसरी इन्वेस्टिगेट नहीं करना, बट यू शुड रिव्यू इट वेदर ही इज गोइंग अप और नॉट. ओके. बाकी आपका जो है ये बोन एज एक्सरे जो है ना, ये आपके यू आर राइट, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. बट उन्होंने ये लिखा है कि आपको पैथोलॉजी को देखने के लिए फुल ब्लड काउंट करवा लेना चाहिए. ठीक है. इसका आंसर जो है वो फुल ब्लड काउंट है. वैसे तो बोन एज, यू आर राइट, वो कह रहे हैं कि बोन एज थायराइड फंक्शन टेस्ट आप सब परफॉर्म करते हैं, बट उन्होंने कहा कि फुल ब्लड काउंट जो है वो प्रेफरेबल है, क्योंकि उसको बोनी पेन्स हो रहे थे और ये सारी चीज से, तो आप इसका न्यूट्रिशनली और क्रॉनिक कोई प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है, ये इसको देखने के लिए आपने लाजमी इसको जो है वो फर्दर जो है वो CBC से भी उसके लिए मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट है. So this is all the discussion part. You can read it by yourself, I think, because it's already we have discussed a lot. If you have any questions or queries, you can ask directly on the group, okay? And this is our okay, this is all the description part, and thank you. And this is our all, you know, this is our contacts to contact us. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, sorry I could not take the questions because it's too late, and I'm also, you know, my child is not allowing me to further continue. Thank you.
That's completely understandable, Dr. Aisha. Thank you so much for the entire lecture. किसी के भी कोई questions हो गए, you can feel free to message in the MRCPCH Prep Experts WhatsApp group. वहाँ पे video voice note भेज दें, कोई भी message भेज दें. Next, inshallah, if we do another sample lecture, it'll be in the evening, so that it's easier for Dr. Aisha as well as all the participants. और इस जो है video lecture का भी inshallah recording आपको मिल जाएगी. Thank you, ji. Okay. Allah Hafiz.